Hey, folks, welcome to the After the Show recapping what we did on today's Common Sense Club and the Scott Hannon Show. A lot of fun, busy one, packed. Talked a lot about Sarah Palin's decision to not be a GOP presidential candidate. Here's what I posted on my Facebook page seconds after I heard it. Sarah Palin haters can rejoice. She just told my buddy Mark Levin she's not running for president. God, country, and family is what guide her life, and evidently she really talked a lot about her family and deciding not to do this and came before a run for elected office. I said, beware that this is only a political battle won for the kooky birds, the Sarah Palin haters. In other words, I happen to believe they're one of the reasons she didn't run, just not wanting to put her family through that. But the political war that we will win is November 2012. And I made this prediction. Sarah Palin will remain undefeated. Watch the movie if you haven't yet. She will be a force in this election, and asked folks if they agreed. And a lot of you did. A lot of great comments there, so check those out. Christopher said, I like Palin, but I think it's good she stays out of the race, but she will be one heck of a fundraiser and could take Obama to task without it having a negative effect on our eventual candidate. One example, how she'll be a force. Taylor says, exactly. She'll be a strong conservative voice. I really hope she doesn't pull any punches. Not Sarah Palin. Duke said, this is definitely not the part where she fades to black and is never heard from again. She's going to have more influence for the conservative movement over the next decade than our candidates likely will. That's the stuff that gets me revved up. Anyway, a lot of time on Sarah Palin today. You can check all the comments out. Another question, will the exit from the field for her quiet the endless speculation over who may or may not enter the race? I opened the show today just talking about my philosophy. My philosophy all along, just personal viewpoint, as humble chairman of the Common Sense Club, the more the merrier, because I think it makes the ultimate nominee better. But there also comes a time when you just got to say, the field is the field, and we're there, folks. So stop pining for something more. I know it's human nature. Stephen Hayes was on the show today. I pressed him on saying, why is, power brokers pushing for Chris Christie to get in? Are they worried that a conservative might win? As an example, why is there this constant, Mitch Daniels, we need you to run. And, Chris Christie, would you please run? And, and his take was because he believes the current field is rather weak from a candidate perspective, not a conservative standpoint. Because he said really, there's all of that kind of balanced out. Sarah Palin getting pushed to get in, Chris Christie getting pushed to get in, come from two different viewpoints. He called it the Christine O'Donnell factor, saying, hey, we'd agree with Christine O'Donnell. You would, Scott, I would, Carl Rove, vast majority of people. But a lot of the criticism of her was she was not a good candidate. And I think there's something to that. I think she was unfairly treated by the Republican establishment. But there's no question, philosophically, she was dead on perfect, but could have done a better job, taking that to the stage, in her case in Delaware. And he's making the point that these weaker candidates threaten our chances to get rid of Obama, but he agrees they are what they are now. My deal is, that'll sort itself out. Rick Perry stumbling to start is a good thing. It makes Rick Perry a better candidate on the national stage. So I think it'll all sort out. But I want to talk about that a little bit, about whether or not the Christine O'Donnell factor is, in fact, a curse on the rest of the candidates. We also talked to Organized for Palin North Dakota chair, Yana Myrdal, about her reaction. And she said she is not all that surprised, not all that shocked, but also believes that Sarah Palin's got a big future. We also talked to Ellen Ratner, Talk Radio News Service, tried to unpack a little bit what this Occupy Wall Street group is all about. We actually played on the show today a 3-minute dissertation manifesto from Keith Olbermann, reading their, I forget what they call it, but they have like this creed or whatever, explaining it, and it was a rant. I mean, talking about how they've been wronged by corporate forces and this mass injustice, and they want their rights protected, and, they want education, and they want, school loan debts forgiven, because it's a human right to have education. I guess it's a human right. It ought to be free, right? I mean, total kooky bird nonsense, way out there, Wackoville. Herman Cain said, hey, if you don't have a job, if you're not a millionaire, blame yourself. Don't blame Wall Street or banks or everything else. Thank you, Herman Cain. God bless you. That's why we love you. Well said. They'll be protesting in Fargo this weekend. I'm going to go. I want to just ask politely, just why are you here? What's the injustice? My deal is, and I put this on the webpage too, some great comments about it, but, here's people that have confused me from the Occupy Wall Street group, because they seem to disdain corporate America, right? That's the big thing. Corporate forces of the world have wronged them, right? How do they share this disdain for corporate America? On their Facebook page, sending out tweets, posting videos on YouTube, taking pictures of fellow protesters on their iPhones and iPads. And who created all of those things? Corporate America. So what do they want? Take their profits, give them to somebody else, and then we don't have those innovations? It's nutso time. It's crazy. 40 Days for Life group was on. I love that campaign. 40 Days for Life, ND.com. Hope you'll really seriously consider joining this effort. Look at that little baby. Is there anything more precious? You know what's sad? Every week in Fargo, 23, on average, 23 innocent lives like that one are taken from the scourge of abortion. It's a bad deal. We talked to Pastor Dave Mata, Calvary Lutheran Church today, about it, about prayer, fasting, community outreach, talking to friends and neighbors, being at the abortion clinic, participating in a 24/7 vigil that goes now through November 6th. Check it out. It's a great effort. And since the 40 Days for Life campaign came here to North Dakota, where we have just one abortion mill, North Dakota could be the first abortion-free state in America because we only have one to close. How do we do it? Prayer, fasting, 40 Days for Life campaign. Since it started in 2007, 35 lives saved. 35 lives. And Pastor Dave made the point, in the Bible, Jesus talks about one soul being saved, being bigger than the entire world. One. Right here, 35 since this effort started, so it's a great deal. Congressman Paul Braun, we need more of him in Congress. He's a medical doctor. Got a balanced budget amendment that he has some teeth. Says they'll be voting on it soon, and explained it. Come on, is there anything that makes more sense given the financial condition this country is in right now than, like a lot of states, a constitutionally mandated balanced budget? Sadly, North Dakota's Senator Kent Conrad is the reason we don't have one today. Imagine what a better America we'd have if we'd had a balanced budget amendment passed 16 years ago, sent off to the states. So we talked about that. Also talked to the folks from the Seeds 2000 and North Dakota Trade Office. There's 3 trade agreements that are going up to Congress finally. The president's been playing all kinds of games on them. And there are the South Korea, Panama, and Colombia trade agreement. These create jobs. Matt Brecker was on from Seeds 2000. He's the international sales manager. And he talked about, okay, well, they might not take their product and ship it overseas. What they would do is sell more seed to farmers who grow more corn, who then ultimately could ship that corn over there where they're feeding, pigs and cattle, in one of these places. So it's really extraordinary. Manufacturing and ag are big winners, and North Dakota companies will win from this. What is it? Jobs. Companies that grow and then hire more people. It's a no-brainer. So anyway, and then Rob Portnoy from the Saying blog had a little disagreement because Rob believes that there's a lot of efforts underway to push kids into college, and therefore then they take on all this debt, and really it's just to feed the higher ed beast. It isn't necessarily for what's good for them. My take is, number one, parents participate in that conversation, and also give the students a credit for having a brain to make a decision to, I am going to go to college. Here's what I'm going to pursue. I need to take on some debt to do that. It's unfortunate, but they make the decision to do it. All the more reason for parents to be involved, but I don't think it's brainwashing myself. So Rob and I differed on that a little bit. Anyway, that's the show. Tomorrow on the program, Mitch Daniels. He's written a great new book. I have it here. I better read it tonight. Keeping the Republic. Mitch Daniels will join us on tomorrow's Common Sense Club. By the way, I mentioned I've written a book too. Yes, Grassroots Common Sense Action Agenda for America. Do you have it yet? Get a copy, would you please? And who else are we doing tomorrow, Chris? Who else have I forgotten? I know we have somebody else on the program. Oh, Corey Fong, North Dakota Tax Commissioner, on his push for an internet tax. Republicans pushing taxes? Well, we don't like that. We'll ask Corey why. See you tomorrow on the Common Sense Club and the Scott Innan Show. God bless you, folks. Bye-bye.